Welcome to UCTV News. I'm Elaina Giordano.
And I'm Sharon.
UConn released one of its 2018 men's basketball recruits on Monday, following the firing of former coach Kevin Ollie. The Hartford Courant reports that guard James Akinjo announced his plan to release his letter of intent on the 10th, which was the day Ollie was fired. Akinjo's guardian, Rachel Jackson, tweeted that his decision was based off of the coaching change. The Courant says that Akinjo was Ollie's top recruit for the 2018 team. The team's search for a new coach is currently in progress.
Yesterday, UConn officials met with Dan Hurley, who could be the next men's basketball coach. Hurley is currently coaching the University of Rhode Island. Hurley has built URI's program to a top-level team in the past few years. Other schools like Pittsburgh are also interested in hiring the URI coach. Depending on salary offers and pitches, both schools and Rhode Island are likely options for Hurley.
The UConn women's basketball team beat Quinnipiac last night 71-46. This marks the Huskies' 25th straight Sweet 16 win. Seniors Gabby Williams and Kia Nurse will end their college careers undefeated in Connecticut with 80 wins, 35 of which took place in Gamble Pavilion.
The first ever UConn Giving Day is fast approaching. On April 4th and 5th, the 36-hour philanthropic event will help to bring together the Husky family. The Giving Day is in its inaugural year. The university is asking students, staff, alumni, and the general public itself to help support UConn programs. Donors can give to places like UConn branch campuses, all the way to a specific organization like the Women's Center.
It's so exciting that UConn is setting aside a specific day for people to really support these organizations.
Yeah, I hope this day really takes off and it'll be a big success. Now we move up to catch up with the rest of Connecticut.
According to the Connecticut Department of Health, there were more than 1,300 emergency room visits during the first 2 months of 2018 for suspected drug overdoses. New data collected as a part of DPH project showed there were 1,317 visits to the ER for suspected overdose, with almost 60% from New Haven and Hartford counties. The report includes all fatal and non-fatal overdose visits. DPH Commissioner Dr. Raul Pinos said that they cannot draw conclusions based on 2 months' worth of data, but can use data to better understand the types of opioids contributing to unintentional overdoses and deaths. In 2017 alone, more than 1,000 overdose deaths were reported.
Another nor'easter is headed right through Connecticut. This is the 4th storm hitting Connecticut in the last 3 weeks. The storm is hitting just in time for the first day of spring tomorrow. Officials are predicting the state will get between 6 and 12 inches of snow.
Following the school walkouts that occurred across Connecticut high schools last week, student activists continue to encourage government officials to take action on gun control. Senators Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy held a forum at West Hartford's Conard High School on Monday to discuss gun violence and school safety. Student leaders spoke with the senators about the need for improved gun reform. According to NBC Connecticut, Senator Blumenthal encouraged the students to continue their activism by voting on gun control in the polls.
Current Mayor of New Britain, Erin Stewart, announced on Monday that she is officially in the running for governor of Connecticut. At 31 years old, she is the youngest candidate running and is the only woman Republican running for governor. Even though she is a self-proclaimed Republican, she also has liberal thought behind some topics and conservative ideas on others. Stewart stated at her campaign launch, "If you're looking for a candidate who's going to fit a certain ideology, I'm probably not the candidate you're looking for."
It's really great to see that there's a representation of both women and millennials in this election.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's a lot of other good candidates out there, and it'll be interesting to see how it'll play out.
I agree.
Yeah. Next up, we move up to talk about events in the rest of the country.
The U.S. Census Bureau is changing the way it asks Black Americans to designate their race. Because of the long period of slavery in America, many Black people in the U.S. do not have ties to any specific home countries. Most Black Americans are comfortable with being just American, but this change will force many to investigate their family trees before the 2020 census form comes out.
Not everyone was celebratory this St. Patrick's Day when a Detroit pub refused to serve Irish people at the parade. In order to shine light on immigration rights and the poor treatment of Irish immigrants, Dan Margulies had a production crew record the reactions of people after being called lazy, lower-class citizens and denied service at the fake temporary pub. Margulies says, on a day when everyone is proclaiming solidarity with an immigrant group, we wanted them to feel like what it was like to be treated like an Irish immigrant years ago in this country.
What an interesting way to get people to really start talking about immigration reform.
I think so too. I think it's interesting that they're using a different race to highlight this issue.
Definitely. President Trump said Monday that we will liberate our country from this crisis on opioid addiction to New Hampshire residents, WNPR reports. Trump said his plan calls for less addictive painkillers and expanding treatment for opioid abuse. This comes 5 months after Trump declared opioid abuse a public health emergency. He said that over 100 people die daily from the opioid abuse in the country and that New Hampshire is twice the national average.
President Trump plans to boost exports of lethal drones to dozens more allies and partners. U.S. drone manufacturers are facing heightened competition overseas from rivals like China, who sell under lighter restrictions. This initiative will be part of President Trump's Buy American plan to increase employment and reduce U.S. trade deficits. That does it for us tonight here at UCTV News.
Be sure to check out our YouTube at UCTV Channel 14 and tune in next Tuesday for another edition of UCTV News. Good night.